Daria has been living in Spain for 8 years now. She and her husband moved there for permanent residence. They have a son. They bought a house, small but cozy. And it so happened that her husband decided to return to their homeland. He doesn't like the climate, the people, or the job here. Visiting on vacation is one thing, but living permanently is another. Less than 2 years had passed when her husband told Daria, "We are selling the house here and moving back." "What do you mean we're moving? I have a good job, a decent salary, you also work, and we have a good house. Our son will graduate from university and move here too. I am happy here." "But what's so good here?" "The people are strangers." "I don't like my job, but you do what you want, I am going back. I have an apartment there, inherited from my grandfather." Daria, of course, suspected that her husband might go back. After all, they moved here to forget family troubles, her husband's infidelity. She forgave him, had enough patience and wisdom to keep the family together. She decided that if they moved far away, her husband would forget his affair. Daria sold her 3-room apartment, which was in her possession. Her father had gifted it to her on her 18th birthday. He worked as a high-ranking official in the city, had the opportunity, but unfortunately passed away early. She took a loan from the bank and bought a house in Spain, prudently putting it in her son's name. But her husband didn't like anything here. Oksana, his affair, kept texting him, she had a daughter and now demanded help raising the child. In the end, her husband returned to their homeland. Daria understood that the climate and work were just excuses. The young woman had won him over. When her husband left, Daria told him, "When you get home, file for divorce immediately. It's easier to arrange there, I'll send my consent. Our son is grown up, it will be quick. Don't come here anymore, I don't want to see you. I am staying here, I like everything." So Daria was left alone in Spain. She is now 46, has been living alone for 6 years. Her son Gleb, after graduating from university, got a job in an IT company. He met a girl, they worked together and now live together. They got married a year ago and had a little daughter, Mia. Daria is over the moon with happiness. She has such a lovely granddaughter, though still a baby, but that's okay, she will grow up fast. Daria hasn't arranged her personal life yet, though she has many admirers, especially local men, but she doesn't want to tie her life to a local. There's a noticeable difference in mentalities. However, if she meets a compatriot, Daria wouldn't mind, but there are few of them here who are single. Another problem troubling Daria is her mother. For the past 3 years, her mother has been insisting that her daughter take her in. Her mother is 67 years old and comes every year to rest, sponsored by Daria, but returns home reluctantly. She wants to live with her daughter. But Daria doesn't want to live with her, they constantly quarrel. Her mother has a very difficult character, she is a natural leader and wants everything to be done her way. But Daria resists, and thus, they clash. Daria earns very well, and in the next couple of months, she plans to open her own hairdressing salon. She has many acquaintances here, including 2 close friends. One of these friends, Emma, joyfully announced, "Daria, my cousin Oleg is coming to visit us. He has been divorced for a long time and decided to move here too. And will stay with us and my husband for now. I'll introduce you, he's a great guy, enterprising, and business-minded. He's 49, so go ahead." "Emma, maybe we won't like each other." "How can you be so sure?" "If I'm saying it, I know it. I know Oleg, and he will like you. The main thing is that you like him. So, he's coming in 2 weeks." Daria's mother calls again, "Daughter, what have you decided about my move?" "I'm waiting, we need to arrange the documents. I'm tired of living here alone, let's resolve this. You live alone in the house, I want to be with you. It will be more fun and safer together. After all, I'm getting older. Mom, don't be offended, but I don't want to live with you in the same house. You know we won't get along. Daughter, how can you be so shameless? Your mother wants to live with you, and you don't want it. I am your mother and want to live with you. You don't have a man, and why do you need one now? Soon you'll be old. Mom, I hope to meet my man soon. What nonsense. I need to come to you quickly to protect you from this reckless step. I'll come and protect you from these fools. Mom, did you ask me if I want you to protect me? Daria asked angrily. You haven't even arrived, and we're already having disagreements. So, Mom, save up money, sell your apartment, and then we'll buy you a small studio apartment here. I don't want to live with you under one roof. Daria, but that will take a long time, and I want to move to you now. Daria knows that if her mother comes, it will mean daily quarrels and scandals. Of course, she understands that her mother is lonely, with her daughter and grandson far away, but her health is still strong, she almost never complains, and she is energetic. Therefore, Daria suggests buying her a separate apartment. Moreover, with the opening of her hair salon, Daria will have additional income to help her mother acquire housing. But her mother is impatient. She needs to control every step of her daughter, wondering how she manages without her supervision. Daria met Oleg, a stately man, confident in himself. He had a serious and attentive look in his gray eyes behind glasses. Not exactly handsome, but pleasant, especially his voice. When he saw Daria, he was relieved, as he had imagined her differently. Before him stood a young woman, as slim as a girl, a cheerful blonde, always laughing. When she entered the apartment, it became brighter and more cheerful. Emma, watching her brother from the corner of her eye, realized that he liked her friend, as she had no doubt. Oleg immediately began to closely study Spanish. He knew a little, as he was planning to come here, but now he needed to learn the language thoroughly. He was planning to live and work here, so knowing the language was very important. 2 months later, Oleg moved in with Daria, helping her open her hair salon. She hadn't even imagined how active he was. They found each other from the first meeting. Oleg adored Daria, and she fell head over heels in love with him. He told his relatives, "It turns out there also are women here, smart and beautiful. Thank you, sister, for inviting me here. I had almost given up, having tried several women without finding the right one. And here, it turns out, my Daria was waiting for me. Truly, you never know where you'll find happiness." A year passed. Oleg got a job with a cargo transportation company. He learned Spanish, though just conversational. He still couldn't read well, but spoke fluently. He proposed to Daria, but she hesitated. "Let's live like this for a while." "What's the rush? We'll have time. Nothing is stopping us, we can get married anytime." Daria hadn't told her mother for a long time that she wasn't living alone, but she had to confess because summer was approaching and her mother was planning to visit her daughter. "Mom, I have a surprise for you. I'm not living alone, I'm living with Oleg. We are planning to get married in the future. Oleg is a good and calm man. I feel secure with him." "Daria, what do you mean, a wall? What are you talking about? Why do you need him? Why did you let a strange man into the house?" "Well, I'll come and expose him quickly." Daria got upset. Oleg looked at her questioningly. She had to tell him about her mother, her character, and this conversation. "Daria, don't worry so much. I'll find a way to get along with your mother. I'll try my best." When her mother arrived, her daughter met her at the airport. Hugging, her mother asked suspiciously, "Where's your man? Or have you already broken up? You listened to my advice after all." "No, Mom, Oleg is at home waiting for you." When they entered the house, her mother sniffed the air. Daughter, something smells very good. Finally, you've learned to cook. Oleg came into the hallway with a smile and a bouquet of flowers. Hello, Mrs. Anna. Come in. He handed her the roses. Just from this gesture, something fluttered inside her. Thank you, she responded reservedly. On the table were various appetizers, steaming meat giving off an aromatic smell, and a huge vase filled with a variety of fruits. She paused for a moment, taking in the beauty. No one had ever welcomed her like this before. Mom, meet Oleg. My beloved man, this is all his doing. He cooks wonderfully, unlike me. After a hearty and delicious dinner, they sat on the veranda drinking tea. Oleg behaved as if he had known Darya's mother for half his life. Interestingly, she also communicated with him easily and cheerfully. Her mother stayed for a month, and throughout the month, whenever she started to grumble, Oleg would discreetly calm her down. How did he manage that? Darya couldn't understand. Her mother would immediately calm down and switch to other topics. Before she left, they had a family meeting. Oleg said, "So, Mrs. Anna, go home, sell your apartment, and we'll find you a small apartment here. It's better for us to live separately, right?" Of course, my dear son-in-law. I agree with whatever you propose. I communicate better with you, and my daughter has changed too. Or maybe it's not my daughter who changed, but you, dear Mrs. Anna, Oleg cautiously and smilingly asked. Maybe it's me? I am happy that I will soon live near you. Thank you, Oleg. Darya didn't recognize her mother, who had transformed from an eternally dissatisfied and grumbling old lady into a life-loving and smiling mature woman who might even find herself a local, hot-blooded elderly man. Mrs. Anna became even more energetic. At her daughter's hair salon, they gave her a short haircut and dyed her hair, ready for a wedding. She flew home happy and content.